Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you're all well and you're coping okay with lockdown. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've created this really nice summer skin, glowy, faux freckle, cotton thread, eco-friendly false lash look, and I basically show you how I apply my false lashes but also create this like nice summer skin glowy look. I did a poll on my Instagram and you guys wanted this look rather than like a cut crease colourful vibe, so maybe I'll do a colourful look next time. Let me know what you think. If you want to see how I created this look, then keep watching. So I'm gonna go for like a more glowy summer, simple red lip, faux freckles and like a fluttery eyelash. For this look I'm gonna actually do my face first because we're not gonna go heavy on the eyes. First, use this Glow Fix setting spray from Makeup Revolution. It's nearly empty now. I honestly swear by it. So cheap as well. I'm just going to spray that on my face. I actually love putting setting spray on my face before I start just because I think it really soaks in everything to my skin and also wakes me up, especially if it's in the morning. I'm going to use some highlighter underneath my skin. This is the Makeup Revolution liquid highlighter in Euphoric Gold. As you can tell, I love Makeup Revolution stuff. I just think they're really cheap and budget friendly, but also really good products. So I'm just going to take a little tiny bit. I'm not going to go too ham, just kind of like put that, like that's how much I'm going to use. Massage that into the areas which I want to be really glowy. This is perfect for the summer because it gives that really nice no makeup look. So if you were just going out barefaced, I would stick a tiny little bit of that highlighter on just to give this hot sort of like glowy look. This is the Ordinary High Spreadability Fluid Primer, my most used I think. Just massage it into my skin. Some people don't know if primer works for them. And honestly, I couldn't tell you if it does. I think sometimes I notice it cakes a bit around this area if I don't put primer on because I have dry skin. I think it makes your makeup long lasting. So if you're going out on a night out, it's perfect for that. My favourite glowy foundation that I use throughout the summer is the It Cosmetics CC Cream. This has got SPF 50 in it, which I think you guys know how I feel about SPF. First thing you can do for anti-aging. I had this given to me in a PR package from It Cosmetics, and honestly, as you can see, I'm nearly out of it. I'm using the shade medium. I still want to live that bronze life, you know, even though I don't have any sort of fake tan on. In quarantine, I've actually been fake tanning quite a bit. Just ordered another tan actually, the Cocoa Brown Melissa Carter one. Honestly, it's my favorite. I want it to be very full coverage, so I'm going to use a beauty sponge to just blend that in. If you've got some extra time on your hands, always use a beauty sponge. But if you're like running out of time, you're on a night out and your boyfriend, which happens a lot with me, just keeps asking when you're going to be ready, you want to use a brush. The look of foundation blended in with a beauty sponge is probably my favorite, just because I find it gives a lot more of that airbrushed look and also a fuller coverage, I find. I'm going to go right over my eyes as well. Also blend it into my neck. As you can see, it's not too far off colour-wise. It could be a little bit lighter to match my skin tone, but if I'm going to be honest, I always go a little bit darker anyway. I like a full coverage foundation, and I think that CC cream is supposed to be full coverage, but I would say it was more medium to full or like buildable. But because we want that summer skin, I know what I'm like. If I'm in the sun and it's really hot, I actually don't want my face to be too caked up with makeup. Even on a night out, I still don't want my face to be like thick. So I'm just going to use that much of that foundation, and as you can see, it wasn't that much, but honestly it's given the best coverage for me really. I've got a lot of red under my skin. For concealer, I am actually going to use another It Cosmetics product. I promise I'm not sponsored by them. I absolutely love this. I've had this for a while actually, and this is the Bye Bye Under Eye Illuminating Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. This small tube has 8 mils of it in and it's still pretty full. A little goes a long way, like you'll be able to see now. I'm just going to put the tiniest little bit, like a little semicircle like that, onto my eyes, and you can see, like, honestly, it'll go all the way down my face. Like, blends out like a dream as well. The fact that it's waterproof doesn't really make a difference to me personally. I don't know what waterproof concealer, maybe like if you've got watery eyes or you've been crying, When you're taking off your makeup, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I was a bit worried about that at first. I thought it was just going to stick onto my face. I do really like a glowy eye area because that's where my skin dries up quite a bit. So making sure that it's hydrated and looking glowy is like high up on my list. I think people underestimate how much product you actually get in some of these bottles. Like, I have a Makeup Revolution concealer and it looks huge. It actually has half of that in and it's like near enough that price. It's so weird. Grab my beauty sponge and just make sure there's no brush marks. I'm gonna take this L'Oreal, no, it's not L'Oreal. I'm gonna take this Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I am only aware that you can get this in the US. I'm not sure, I'll double check. But if I can link it, I will in the description box down below. If you're wondering what I was using, they will be listed on there. I'm gonna use a tiny bit of this product. I'm gonna take a tiny little bit of that on there and I'm gonna stick it right on my forehead because that is where I express myself the most, and unfortunately the product builds up a lot around my forehead. So I'm just going to make sure that is nicely set around my smile lines as well. For this look, I want to keep some of this glow, so I'm using a more defined brush to get into like the little areas. Something I've been doing that I've been loving is using foundation, a darker foundation for cream contour. And this might sound mad, like look at this, it's so dark. Obviously a little goes a long way. You want to be really careful when using a dark foundation like this for a cream contour, but I find that it blends into the skin a lot better than the cream contours that are on sticks. I just hate those. So I'm going to use this on the areas of my cheekbones I usually contour. So I'm using the cream because I want the whole look to be dewy, I don't want it to be matte. I'm going to take the exact same beauty blender that I was using for my concealer and my foundation. I'm just going to blend that all the way up to my cheekbones, and you can really build it up with this foundation as well. Like honestly, I don't know what it is, but using a foundation, the formula I think is a lot better than using it on like one of those hard sticks. I'm also going to put a tiny little bit on my jawline. This is what makes me look like I have a jawline no matter how many snacks I have in quarantine. Oh my god, been eating so many snacks, like honestly every night I've had chocolate. It's so bad. The next thing I'm going to do is a little tiny bit of a nose contour, and I just like the look of this, especially on glowy skin. So I'm just taking a little bit of this foundation that I was talking about, this like dark foundation, and I'm gonna add like the tiniest little product on like a flat end brush, and I am just gonna create a little bit of a nose contour. I don't want it to be too defined, but I want it to be noticeable. And then I'm gonna just take this on my nose to make it look a little bit more buttony. I'm going to take it quite halfway up my nose because I don't actually have a button nose at all, but I love the look of it. So I'm going to create like a little circle. I'm going to blend the product out with the same brush as much as possible, and then just dab it with the beauty sponge to make it look a little bit more skin-like, and this will take a lot of the product off and make it look a lot more natural. And it's also a really quick way of doing it as well. Yeah, I'm gonna grab my soap and we're gonna go into brows. This is my soap, this is my spoolie. Honestly, don't judge my spoolie. I'm showing you the good side because I don't want you to see that there is still soap on the other. Wet that soap up a bit, then take my spoolie and just back and forth strokes until you've got a build up a product on your spoolie. Work the soap through my brows. This gives like the whole brow lamination sort of look, and also really does help your eyebrows to look full, like look at the difference. And we're also going to take our finger and just dab it into the actual skin. So you can either do it quite straight up, or you can do it a little bit to the side. I go full out as straight as I can get them. Grab a angular brush and a brow pomade. This one is the LA Girl brow pomade in soft brown, very similar to the Morphe ones. I'm gonna create some hairs. So I'm gonna just literally create hairs. If you go a little bit too far down, don't worry. Like, we're gonna conceal the bottom, so don't worry about that. But you want to create hairs so that you're lifting the arch, so you're working towards this tail, and you want to create some gaps in between, because the gaps in between are going to make them look a lot more like laminated or microbladed, and they're gonna look crazy. You're gonna be like, what the hell? But honestly, trust in the process. So I'm just gonna take this spoolie and just kind of run it through my brows, and as you can see, it's made it look a lot more natural. And even if you've got loads of product build up on your brow, it just kind of takes away any of that excess product and makes it look a lot more natural. Okay, so that's pretty much the fluffy brow. Take that little bit of concealer. I lose brushes all the time. I keep them in one place. How can they go missing? I'm taking this really small defined brush, it's really flat, and just focus on that arch, because I want the arch to be really pulled up. Even though they're fluffy, I still want to look like I've got a high arch. Like, we've all got loads of time in quarantine to like start experimenting with makeup. So if you want to nail down on some trends or techniques, then this is the time to do it really. And then I'm going to work it all the way to the front of my brow. Take my finger and just blend it into my eyelid. Honestly, this makeup look doesn't actually take that long, as long as you like nail down on the techniques. I'm just going to take some of that setting powder again that I used at the beginning and just set my eyelids in place, because we are now going to put some eyeshadow on. The eyeshadow palette I'm using is actually quite cheap. This is my holy grail at the moment, my everyday makeup. As you can see, it's very well worn. I literally break every single packaging that I get. These are my favourite colours here, these two colours. So I'm going to mix those two together to get like this really nice Barbados brown bronze colour. This was actually from a really cheap set on Amazon, but I actually really like this brush because it's super fluffy. Just tap off any excess, and then I'm gonna just kind of window wash motions, or window wash, blend that on top of my lid. With a really light hand, we're gonna do like circular motions until we get like the payoff we want. Take more of that product on my lid, like pattern it for product, and then blending it out. I have a couple of makeup courses online now. I have done an Instagram makeup course, which I think has just been submitted. I don't know if it's launched yet. Obviously, I will link it in the description box if it is launched. Basically, it's all about expression and kind of recreating some of the trends on Instagram for 2020. I've just launched that, but I also have 2 other courses. If you wanted to learn a little bit more about techniques for blending, colour matching to your eyes, any sort of like tips and techniques on how to create a really nice certain type of makeup look, you can just play it and pause it whenever you want. I'll pop a little coupon code on the screen for you now. It always helps, especially with these hard times. Even if you're not a makeup artist, just have a little bit of fun, you know. I've got another course then for more makeup artists, for anyone who wants to start a business in makeup and needs to know how to do that. You'll be able to use the code for any of those, I think. So I'm just creating that depth on my eye. You can go as heavy as you want. I think the warmer you go with your eyes, the more like sun-kissed you're gonna look. You can actually use a bronzer to do this step. I think sometimes when I'm on holiday I get really lazy. I don't like bringing a lot of makeup with me on holiday. I like to get right in the little crease, what's it called, the little crater of your eyebrow as well. Voila! This is a kohl pencil from Primark. I swear by Primark makeup, honestly, it's so good. And it's cruelty free and vegan, so that's great. So I'm just gonna take this kohl pencil and I'm gonna work it mostly on the outer corner, just back and forth, trying to make it quite thin because we're going for more of a natural eye. So I'm gonna take a flat-ended brush, and I'm not going to put any dark product on it. I'm just going to use what's left on there, so maybe a tiny little bit of product on there, and just blend that line out ever so slightly. I'm just going to blend that so it looks a little bit more like smudged. I'm not going to go too far on the outer corner as well. We're not going to create a flick. Time has come to do lashes. Just going to coat them in the Bad Girl Bang mascara because I want my lashes to have something to stick to. I always make sure I get right in the corner there. Create some colour onto those lashes because my lashes are naturally quite light. Okay, so this is the fun bit. I get to talk about my lashes. I have 2 sets of lashes. They are eco-friendly, vegan, cruelty-free, and no plastic. The mink industry is really effed up. The only other option then would be using plastic synthetic hair, and we're trying to be as little plastic as possible. And as a makeup artist, I just throw away so many plastic lashes for like clients and stuff. I go through so many. So I offer these cotton thread lashes as a substitute. I think I actually only have 3 or 4 pairs of these each left. They've nearly sold out. I was blown away with everyone's reaction and support. Like, thank you so much for anyone who's purchased these. You've really helped me and my small business. I will definitely be restocking these in the future. So this is the style Red Rose. They're a lot fluffier. They've got a lot more dimension to them than the other ones. They're a bit more ultra glam. They come on these little cardboards to kind of stick them down, and you can see here they're a really nice shape. Come out a little bit on the outer corner. I don't know if you can see the dimension on that, but they have a lot of layers to them, like loads of layers. They've got a really nice curl to them, probably a deeper curl than the other pair. This one is the one I'm going to be using. This is Stargazer Lily. This is a lot more fluttery than the other lash, and this one is a lot more wispy than the other lash and has less dimension, so it's perfect for more of a natural kind of makeup look, or if you just want to go a little bit more natural with your eyelashes. They're really nice, and you can see here they don't flick out so much on the outer corner. They are more like a semicircle. They're very nice and fluttery, a little bit more thinner in volume, but have quite a bit of length to them. But I love them both equally. They are available for only £6, free delivery. So if you want to get your hands on a pair, then I'll pop them in the description box. Thank you so much for anyone who's bought them. I know that was a little bit of self-promo there, but I'm really passionate about using cotton thread lashes. I think they're so up and coming, and yeah, I'm just really proud to be producing something that's a bit more eco-friendly in the makeup and beauty world. These ones are my dummy ones, but these are the ones I've actually been using for the last 5 wears. When I take off my makeup, I usually leave my lashes on and kind of clean them when they're on. So they've been in a really nice condition for a while, and it's really good for any lazy girls that can't be asked like actually cleaning it hair by hair. Just keep them on and just give your face a little wash. Leave them out to dry, put them back in the tin, and you're good to go. I actually have up to 15 wears. Hopefully there will be an eco version of this glue soon, but this is the duo glue. This is the quick set strip lash adhesive white clear. There is a green version which I prefer, which I'll pop in the description box, but this is the glue that I use for my lashes. Stays on all night and I never have to worry about it. Also doesn't ruin my lashes as well. The way I put my lash glue on, instead of going a long ways like that horizontally, I kind of like dab it, and you'll see that there is a lot more glue that comes off onto the lash. Whilst I'm waiting for my lash to kind of set a bit, I kind of massage it into this little U shape, and this really helps it form onto your eyelash, and especially if they're straight out the packet and they're not formed to your eyelash yet. These are probably going to go straight on, fingers crossed, because they've been on my eyes for 5 times now. Very light hand on the tweezers, and I just find that this gives me more precision. After I've waited for like 1 or 2 minutes, I'm gonna go in onto my lash, get it quite close to the center of my eye itself, and then just hold it for a couple of seconds. And then I'm gonna grab the outer corner, just pull that upwards. So I want it to be a little bit of a gap between my real lash and the fake lash on the outer corner. I have really watery tear ducts, so you want to really make sure that it's stuck on that inner corner. And that is the lashes on. So I'm just waiting a couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna just, where I kind of had a gap here, I'm just gonna kind of pull my real lash up to the fake lash, and this just makes your lash look a lot more open, a bit more natural than the other styles, but they're still quite glam. I'm going to take those 2 colours again here, and I'm just going to pop it underneath my eye, just to create a little bit of colour underneath my eye, quite low down, and using a fluffy brush. I'm then going to take some mascara, and I'm going to just dab some of that mascara onto the bottom lash. I don't want it to be too heavy because we're going for a really nice summer look. So to create my faux freckles, I've got this LA Girl Defined Angle brush and my brow pomade. So you can use Freck, and I think there's some other brands, but I actually just really like just using my brow hair colour. So I'm just going to take that and a little bit of product, making sure there's no excess, and I'm just going to dab freckles all over my face. Another way you can do your faux freckles is grabbing your finger and just doing a couple of dots on your finger like that, and then just pressing it into your skin, and this gives a more like natural faux freckle look. If you want it to be a bit more skin-like, just take your beauty blender, dab it into your skin, just making sure that it is melted into your skin a bit. I'm going to use a shimmery bronzer because I want to keep that glow. So I'm using the Physicians Formula Mineral Glow Pills in light bronze. I've put it exactly where I put my contour, so keeping it quite high. I just want to make sure, and around my nose area, so my typical bronzing places. Lift up my hair and just go across my forehead. I'm on to highlights. I'm going to take a nice fluffy highlighter brush. This is a Morphe M510, and I'm going to take a Colourpop highlighter, Super Shock Cheek in Flexitarian. I've been looking for this colour for a while now and I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if they've discontinued it, but it's so pretty. So I'll link an alternative down below. Just fluffing it onto my cheekbones just to create like a nice blinding highlight, and then onto the highest point of my temples, and then any excess I want to bring down into like a straight line down my face, so you can see it when I'm this way and you can see it when I'm this way. On middle finger, and then just on my nose, I'm just going to create a little Tin Man nose situation. And then the excess I'm going to put on the bridge of my nose like that. I'm going to take a smaller brush and just take a tiny bit of that highlighter, pop it on the highest point of my arch. Like that, so it's a nice high arch. And then a little tiny bit on the inner corner to brighten up my eye. So the lipstick I'm actually using is a different red to what I usually do. Be Legendary Triple Tone Lipstick in Red Ombre from Smashbox Cosmetics. It's kind of blended together a bit, but it's darker on this side and lighter in the center. So you got to really press to get all the colors. So it's darker on the top, like lip liner, and then lighter in the center. As you can see, it's a lot lighter in the middle and then darker on the outside. I'm going to grab my illuminating concealer and just take a tiny little bit of that concealer and just pop it on the center of my lip just to give it a bit more of a pout. Set my skin with some more Glow Fix and wait for that to dry.
Don't tell me you're taking all this seriously.
So that was it, guys. That was my look, my glowy red lip, fluttery eyelash, kind of summer skin bronzed look. I really hope you enjoyed it, and let me know how it goes with you. Tag me in your looks because I'd love to see your little creations. Let me know what you think of my lashes. Check them out, see what you think. They'll all be in the description box. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.